What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Karla Kiko Adventures. Happy Friday. Say hi, Kiko.
Hi. And hopefully you guys can hear us.
Well, I mean, we fixed that problem on the last stream. So
Just double checking.
pretty sure they can hear us.
Does it look good? Does it sound good?
Can ya hear us? Hello,
Yes.
hello.
Hello.
Testing,
Hello.
testing. 1, 2, 3. Una, dos, tres. I
Happy
think so.
Friday, everyone.
What's up, Stephanie? Howdy, howdy. What's up, amiga Jessica?
Hi, Jessica, amiga. What up? What up?
Isabel. What's up, everybody?
What's
going on? What's
up?
going on?
Hello. Welcome in.
What's up, the game?
What's up?
Welcome in.
Hope you have the day off today, bro. I know you've been working.
Hi,
a lot.
Jamie, over on Facebook.
Jamie, what's up? What's up,
How's
Jamie?
it going?
How's it going? We got Tony Lopez
Tony,
in the house.
what's going on?
So,
welcome back.
It is Friday, guys. We literally just ended. We just had our member-only stream. If you are a member, you know what we're talking about. We do member-only streams, usually at least once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also do a member-only giveaway. So we do have a membership program. If you are a member, awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you've been thinking about it, it's always a good time to join us on the membership, guys. We appreciate all of you guys. So it is Friday. I feel that this week went by so fast. Like I literally was losing track of the days. I was like, dude, is it? It is. It's Wednesday. It's Thursday. So I don't know if that is because I was so busy with other stuff going on, like throughout the day. Like my day started early, and then I ended up doing stuff here at the house and all that stuff. We got some spring-ish cleaning going on, I guess. Going through the garage, doing all the stuff, finding a bunch of stuff. Can you guys tell me?
Kiko found his baseball cards.
Can you guys tell me why Karla wants to everything? So the only positive,
big old tote full of baseball cards.
So the only positive of I don't want to offend anybody, but I guess this.
What's up, Chilo?
What up, Chilo? This younger generation, I guess, is if that's the right wording. Arlene, what up? What up? What's up, Ray Pauline Lopez?
Arlene, hello, Ray Pauline, welcome in.
All the Lopez family. So with this,
no worries, girl.
Younger or whatever generation, everything from like the 80s, 90s, and all that stuff is cool again.
It's coming back, yeah.
It's coming back, right? So people
Where
are
have
like,
you been?
oh yeah, that's not what I'm saying. It's so cool. So the twins were helping me clean out the garage, right? And we found some of these bags, and they had the old school cameras, right? Like the 8mm cams, the little camcorders. And they're like, oh, dude, you guys have those? I was like,
yeah. Well, so I was like, you should use these to record on and do your vlogs on. And I'm like,
yeah, you guys should do like a little compilation and stuff like that, because it's cool to go back and have your little. Do you guys remember? I had a dad who you had a tripod set up all the time for like all the parties, and like had the big. I'm talking about the big cameras, because it had a VHS tape in it. Do you remember those, Karla? VHS tape, kids, is an old cassette.
I'm not a VHS kid. I'm a
go into the VCR.
I'm a high 8 one.
So yes, so 8mm tapes is the newer one, right? So the newer ones, right? So I have a little camcorder that takes these tapes too. So
what's up, cool drummer?
What up, cool drummer?
We actually had the same exact one.
That not the same exact one, but it played the same exact tapes, right? So I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, we have those. I was like, I'm sure we have the chargers, the adapters, all that stuff. My love doesn't like to throw anything away, so she keeps all of this stuff. And I was like, I think I have an even older one that's like a bigger brick one, like a straight up brick one. And they're like, dude, you should bust those out. You should, stream. You should even do like a little compilation.
Kiko doesn't listen to me. He only listens when other people tell him.
I'm like, I was like, that's not a freaking bad idea. Cool drummer says, yeah, don't throw it away. So we have been keeping those for like a long time.
The only reason why I have it here is because I actually had a bunch of them, right? And I sent them out to be put onto a DVD player or a DVD.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason. I can't find myself to throw them away, even though I already have the DVD of it.
They're DVDs, whatever.
Yeah. So
anyways, and I even told the twins, I go, well, yeah, because physical media is coming back. People love DVDs. People love the actual hard games of stuff.
Freaking records.
They love all that stuff because everything like you own the rights to, like the online games and stuff like that. And it's not the same, right? At any point, they can be like, all right, you don't have it no more. It's gone or whatever. If you have the physical media, then it's yours. It's there. You have it, all that stuff. So that was the only cool part. I know Karla's goal for me was to find my old baseball cards.
Which you did.
I started collecting like in 1988, but I didn't collect for that long, right? Because it was only cool for a while.
Hi, Kay.
What's up, Kay? I don't know, whatever. It was just the market was so saturated with baseball cards. I didn't always, it was like I cared for like the Dodger player ones. So I didn't care if I had like good cards and traded them for like Dodger players because that's what I cared about at the time. I wasn't in the collector mode that maybe I'm like, dang it, I had good cards. Why did I trade them for these sucky players? I just that's what I wanted
at that time.
At that time. So is what it is.
We got the game celebrating 32 months of membership.
You can read it on your own, guys. You guys can read it on your own, guys.
Chicken.
And if you are a member, you may know what we're talking about. You may have a little bit more information.
Thank you, Patrick,
yes,
for your continued support, my friend. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you so very much.
So Chilo says something right below. He said,
I wouldn't throw them away, even if you have old videos saved.
The physical cassette is what also brings back
exactly.
So
even though I can't play it because
you can play it on the
camcorder that I have doesn't work.
Mine does.
Does it?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I have all the connectors. Maybe we can have a little.
Anthony?
What's up, Anthony? Karla wants to do a little tutorial. Bring a TV out here, like a TV, that it has to have the plugs.
It has to have the plugs.
The one in the room has all the plugs.
Does it?
Yeah, it has all the plugs. So we can. You're not doing anything out here, anyways. Bring it out here.
There
see if we can plug something in and see if we can get it to work. First of all, that would be the goal.
I actually have. So the cassettes that I transferred onto DVD, there are some from when I was in high school.
I, at one point, probably had some stuff. They might have gotten dispersed, left, moved. Who knows?
Tossed,
broken, you name it. Any of that possibility. Any of that is possible. So I don't know if I have anything on any of the tapes. I don't know or remember, but it would be awesome to get it to work, because if you get it to work, we'd be able to like record and broadcast it or not screencast it. What's up, Katie? I was saying,
hey friends, about to go Back to the Future, but wanted to say hi.
Nice.
Have fun.
Nice.
Have fun. Have fun.
Yes.
Get all that content, girl.
FanFest.
Yes.
Have a great time, Katie. Appreciate you coming.
You guys, Katie's going to be coming out with a lot of content from FanFest, so make sure to check that out as well.
Yes, and do us a favor, guys. Smash that thumbs up. Feel free to share out the stream with your friends and family. It's just a hangout. We understand there's a lot of other stuff going on. We know all this stuff, but if you are here, guys, we definitely appreciate you giving you guys a little bit of insight to what's going on in our lives, and also the plans that we have, like for the channel and all that stuff. So that's what I would like to do.
Congratulations to Isabel. She hit
up,
6K on YouTube.
Yes. So,
Amiga Jessica, can you throw up your link as well?
Yes.
Please.
So that was one of the cool things, I guess I would say. And I think it was cool that somebody else thought it was cool, because I like keeping old stuff, I guess you would say.
What's
right?
up, Pat? Kevin, welcome in.
So if you guys know, last week, if you guys tuned in, I had Beanie Babies up here. It was only because I didn't want them getting, what did I say? Damage.
I didn't want them to be in the sun.
I didn't want them to be out in the element and all that stuff. So
hi, Deborah.
I brought them all in here. That was the only thing I brought in here. That was like
literally.
That was like stuff that I had. Everything else went outside, and then got
JJQ.
Moved. What up,
what's
JJQ
going on?
in the house? Got moved to a shed, or got stacked or whatever, but the Beanie Babies did not. I was like, I want to keep those separate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I did. You guys got a little glimpse of them. Hopefully they get packaged away a little better, which has been my goal for like ever.
You said you wanted to buy a tote for them or something.
Yes, I want to buy the Costco totes, but every time I buy totes,
I end up taking them over.
I was like, Karla, they're gonna be for the Beanie Babies, but since the Beanie Babies were kind of hard to get to, Karla's like, hey, look, here's an empty tote. Why don't I put crap in it? And then I end up not having any totes that I bought for it, right? Whatever. But now that they're more accessible, I want to do it. I want to keep them kind of, whatever in their own things. But yeah, so I've kept those for a long time. But the video cameras and stuff like that and all the old electronic stuff, I thought it was cool that the twins thought it was cool. And why do they think it's cool? Because it's coming back, because people are going back to Disneyland and recording. Do you think that's cool, Karla? Do you?
I had told Jose, I said, I know a Disney content creator couple that does that in Walt Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
They have their JVC camcorder and they're filming everything. It looks cool because we haven't seen it for so long. But living through it, I like the clear stuff better, but that's just me.
The phones record hella better and it's like easier and it's digital and all that stuff. And
I'm like, I'm just going to start recording in black and white or something.
I'm like, what the heck are we going to freaking do with all that stuff? I'm like,
oh, that's right. Kevin anda en Mexico.
Mexico City, Kevin.
Saludos, que le vaya bien.
Have a good time. Comas unas garnachas. We actually watched the garnachas on Netflix.
Yeah.
And Karla's
like, what
is a garnacha? So it was like, we started looking at it. It was interesting
of what
they consider a garnacha is. Yeah. So yes, JJQ says, yes, let's do black and white films. People guess the color. Yeah, I don't know if I think it's super cool. I would say the newer ones, because I do have a smaller, newer one. That's the one that one would be okay because it's like this. But I have one that's like super big. No. Those are the over the shoulder ones.
European Vacation.
No, those are the ones that actually took VHS. It's just a bigger one that's like a brick, kind of like this, and it has a battery. So the battery's fat, so it's just heavy. It's just a big one. I hope I can find that one. I thought it was in that same box. Maybe it's at the bottom. I don't know. The little one was on top, and they're like, dude, this is so cool. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. I guess. I'm like, I've kept them forever. I hope the batteries still work. And they're like, yeah, you can probably just order new stuff. And I'm like, well, why would I want to order stuff? Yeah. Yes. Check out this link, guys.
Check out our friend Jessica's link, you guys, if you're able to share it out. That would be greatly appreciated. If you're able to contribute, that would also be greatly appreciated.
Our Jurassic Chaos, what is up? Hello, guys. All of you guys, welcome in here. Once again, happy Friday. Home studio, normal stream, 7 p.m. If you guys caught the Wednesday stream, I think the Wednesday stream so far has been my favorite.
The best
Kahoot.
one. Yeah. Not because of the movie or?
I don't know, dude.
Because of how popular it was.
I don't know if it's because we're getting better at it. As by we, as by I mean Karla, right? Because she's getting
as long really as you don't look at my spelling.
But she's getting a lot better, like really good at doing the Kahoot stuff and all that stuff, and the questions and the backgrounds and all that stuff. So I don't know if it was that or if the movie The Sandlot was just that popular that people were like, yes. Or I guess it could have just been that it was a good night that participants came in and joined us and participated and played. It was so close that Bacon ended up winning by like a hair.
Yeah.
Jose still says he got robbed. I'm like, how did you get robbed? You didn't answer. But he was here and then he left and he was on his phone. Kudos to him. He was a passenger going to work, so he was able to still join.
Yeah.
Like literally he was like, all right, it's got to be over because I'm going to start working right now. So luckily he was that. But Bacon ended up winning. Jose got second place, and then AJ ended up getting
third place.
Yeah. And they hadn't ended up really watching that recently. Karla and I watched it recently, but they hadn't. We just have watched it so much that just remembered, and they were good Kahoot.
Yeah.
So
we knocked AJ and Jose out of there anyway, and then we ended up who? Let me see.
We have the names. It might have been Ray Pauline was fourth, but ended up being second, and then Sarah A. Sarah A ended up being like third. So it worked out really good.
D says, I was so proud I made it to third place for 2 seconds.
Hey, it's all good. So
next time I will graduate Cahoots College.
New people come in while others graduate.
So it's awesome.
It's really good. So the only thing that I'm a little worried about is that you have to be fast for the answers. Yes, cool drummer. So we have learned a little bit more. AJ kind of helped us out with that we can share it out, maybe possibly a little easier for people to follow at home.
So what AJ was suggesting, what his teacher does in class is,
and this is an automatic setting because we
have to set it.
Yes.
So what he was telling us is, I guess when you're playing on the phone, it just shows you the 4 colors, right? Like the 4 answers. But it doesn't have any letters. It's just the blocks of the 4 colors with their symbols or whatever. So AJ was saying that we can make it to where it's the colors with the lettering. So like with the answers. So like red would be, cherries on top. Blue would be bananas, so stuff like that. So we're trying to figure out if we want to put it that way. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that would be easier?
Well, I think we're going to have to do Karla. We're going to have to test
You want to test it out?
And just to see if it works out better. I like to obviously see that people are in the chat, kind of either half and half playing, half chatting. I do understand that it takes a little bit more bandwidth on your guys' end, because that usually means that you may have to have an extra device, an iPad, a TV, a computer screen, whatever, and then playing on your phone. I did see some people saying that like their latency or whatever, or they were behind or something like that. So I think by you giving the Kahoot questions and answers and all that stuff, it might make it easier for the people playing at home.
Yeah.
But I just don't know yet. We don't know yet. It would be easier, but the way we're doing it now is kind of like equal. We make sure to tell everybody, make sure you're live, all that stuff. Karla makes sure to also read the answers, or with the question. She reads the question and the answers. So it's worked out so far, but we're definitely trying to improve, and we're open for improvement, right? I do also hope that this Sandlot, since it was so popular, that it wasn't like the peak, and then the other movies are going to be not as popular. We hope that the movies that we do suggest are movies that we actually like, that you guys will also enjoy doing. And the movie of the week for now, till that we do it on Wednesday, is
next Wednesday is National
Treasure. So if you haven't watched National Treasure, I think it's on Disney Plus, right? So feel free to watch it, do your homework, take your notes. It's definitely funny when people come on here and it's like, all right, I'm ready for this. I watched it. I took my notes. And sometimes they really, really do well.
Yeah.
And then other times we have people that are just come in and just like, they're just good. They're just really, really good.
Also, make sure to check out
Chilo and Dee's channel.
Yep. Our Jurassic Chaos with their boys, Rex and Obi.
Yes.
They did a pie eating contest the other day when they were celebrating Chilo's 40th birthday.
That's what I was going to say.
What?
So welcome, Chilo, to the 40 and over club. Okay, so some things in your life
I told him
are gonna change.
I told him because he was like, I don't feel 40. And I'm like, just wait, your body will let you know.
So just know that much like when we were, teenagers and going through changes and stuff like that and all that, you're gonna be possibly going to. You may need to. I think you play kickball or whatever you play. You may need to stretch out a little more. Or, rub some, Bengay or whatever it is. All of that stuff. It starts having all that. I didn't say all that stuff, okay? All I'm saying is that, listen to your body.
Take it easy.
If there's a restroom nearby, don't let it pass. Just go.
Hablando de experiencia,
just go. Just do what you got to do. And, but enjoy it. You know what I mean? It's great. I feel great. So I missed a year. Yes, JJQ. I was so surprised when you told us that story that she missed a year.
Yeah.
So she was like a year less because she missed a year, which is it's an awesome story.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, so I am a young 43. Karla is a younger 45. But we feel great. A couple of surgeries going on.
Give or take.
But is what it is. All right. That's what I got, Karla. And that's what I wanted to say last time when it was his birthday.
I don't feel 40, but the aches and pains are definitely real.
We understand. If you're here and you're 40, it really is one of those, like, in your 30s, you're like, yeah, dude. In my 30s, I was never in the gym. I was like, I really was like Tim the Tool Man Taylor, like grunt, like, just whatever. And then just
I know, just look over at him and be like, shut up, stop grunting.
Picking up weights and just tossing up and doing whatever, dude.
Who are you telling? 30s was the best for my life, man.
And little by
health
little,
wise, I was perfect.
Little by little, I had to take it easy because carpal and cubitals and tunnels and all these things.
Welcome to Senior Talk with Kiko.
No manches, Tony. Damn, I knew I shouldn't have said nothing.
Pa que abres la boca.
God dang it! I didn't think about it that Tony was here. Maybe we have old man Caesar in the background. I don't know. I haven't seen him come in.
Para que abres la boca.
So, it's just like I've been really good. The surgery has been healing well and all that stuff. Still not 100%. I'd probably say I'm more like 80% strength in my hand.
That's hilarious.
ARP. But then all of a sudden, I try to go hard on stuff. And then my runner's knee starts to act up. And I'm like, Karla, my runner's knee is acting up again.
I'm like, well, you're not stretching.
Okay,
you're not doing
I'm going to put it out there right now. I'm not doing any running, okay? It's just called runner's knee, okay? I didn't coin that. No. Nor did I ever say that I did any running, okay? It's just when you overdo it or whatever, for whatever reason, they call it runner's knee. Okay.
I think it started at Disneyland when you because we started walking too much.
It was after the 5.
Oh, the 5K?
10Ks. I was doing great, I would do 5Ks. I was like, I want to graduate to a 10K. I was envisioning a half marathon. Now I don't think I ever a marathon, but a half marathon. But they say, guys, listen to what I'm saying here. I know it's AARP talk or whatever you want to call it. They say that the new midlife crisis is running like half marathons,
really,
5Ks, 10Ks, and that happened to Karla because all of a sudden she's like,
crisis, fool. The fuck, I was
just Donnie, huh?
I was in my 30s.
Whatever, but she was like, all of a sudden she's like, because your thing pops up all the time on.
So it's actually funny because
your race.
My first one popped up that I did with my best friend.
It keeps popping up.
8 years ago, I did my first 5K, and it was like one of those jokey ones. It was like the bubble one with the inflatable bounce houses and
stuff. You ended
up
up hurting your knee on that.
I did. I remember, but that was the first one I had ever done. And it's like a tattoo.
I was there. Con eso me
picó, and I'm like, okay, I want to do another one. I want to do another one.
Guys, I brought a chair. I watched
him and the kids.
I recorded. It was great. Good job. That was me being supportive, right? And then you did one
for
Fremont
work
or something like. No. You did one like in Fremont or something like
that.
With the train.
Didn't we do it for work first, and then we started doing those with Brazen Racing?
I don't know. Whatever it was.
So whatever, I got him into it. So him and I were doing the 5Ks.
Why the hell would I want to do? Okay, this is my argument. I said, why the hell would I want to pay to go run? Yes, you get a T-shirt.
No,
cool.
His favorite part.
But once I found out about this,
his favorite part at the end of the race when they have their little table with all the snacks. They have It's ice creams. I don't know if a lot of SoCal people know about It's ice creams. They are ice cream sandwiches.
It's a cookie
and
ice cream.
Ice cream.
They put them in
so good,
like the freezer boxes with like the
dry ice
and stuff like that. So they are
all
cold,
different
cold. You can get
flavors.
Snacks. You can it's pretty much a little buffet tables where you can get a bunch of stuff because you just
and it's not the mini ones,
no,
it's the big ones. So all of that exercise you just did, you go and you mess it up with your instant ice cream.
So I got the bug because I was like, this is hella cool. You run, you do this, there's music, there's people pumping you up, like, hey, what's up? And it's like you're all buddies. And then at the end, you get to freaking drink and eat little snackies and stuff like that. So I thought that was cool. So we started doing like,
ooh, a buffet.
We started doing all that stuff. It was fine. Karla was signed. She's like, I signed us up for
You even did one when I didn't do it.
She signed us up for stuff.
It's like all over the Bay Area. So we were doing it all over the place.
Even we did a family one for like the twins' birthday or something.
The twins'
like
birthday
that.
on the 4th of July.
On the 4th of July.
That's when I had my cast. And that's when I bought the knee scooter. Yeah. And so AJ was with me, and it was kind of a little hilly, not terrible. Yeah. And so I told AJ, I said, okay, when we're going down the hill, I need to use the scooter. Okay. Anytime, any other time, I will walk with my cast and you can use the scooter.
Or walking cast.
My walking cast. Yeah. And so he would use the scooter so we would trade off.
But it was great. You know what I mean?
I even did a 10K in the freaking hills. That was tiring.
It was fun. It was good. But the more I hear like little stuff like that, the radio station.
So that's the new.
They say that if you turn like 40 and you get that, like, I don't know, but I'm going to run a marathon or I'm going to run a half marathon. I actually know somebody. So we follow on social media that she's training to do a half marathon or a marathon. So it's very much like you turn 40 and you're just like, yeah.
But I was doing that before. I was doing that in my 30s.
Maybe you're early to rise or whatever, early to bed, whatever.
Really?
And you got into it and all that stuff. So just keep that in mind.
Have you guys done any marathons or 5Ks or any races at all?
That's why I ended up getting like some pains in my knees. And I kept feeling like when I got in my van or something like that my knee was going to pop out. It didn't pop out, but it felt like it, like when I put it down. So I went in, they gave me a diagnosis. They said runner's knee, blah, 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 all that stuff. So, I took.
Please. Thank you.
What? So I took it easy, all that stuff. And I've been good. But like now, since doing stuff, when I was recovering, which I was staying away from like baseball fields. I was like, I can't because I am very much like, it's like my Zen time. Like I want to go rake fields and drag them and water them and do stuff. I think you've put videos up of that stuff doing it, right? So I was staying away because I was like, if I get close, I'm gonna end up hurting my hand. And I don't the Twilight Zone marathon. So I don't want to like hurt myself because I'm overdoing it, right? So I was staying away. But as soon as my hand started feeling a little better, I was like, I think I could do this. I think I was doing stuff lefty. I was raking lefty. I was tamping. I was doing all this stuff.
Sheila said I used to do them every year before 2020. And then I didn't go back, but we're definitely going to start again.
See, that's what it is. So you're getting older. That's all it is. It's true stuff. Trust me. 35 to 40.
My mom did a race against cancer once. She said it was very hard, but she did force the running part.
So we've done a lot of like walking and jogging, I would say, and like what is that?
Obi was wearing his Crocs. He did the 5K in his Crocs. Thank you.
So
what jacket is that? Oh.
So you do like the walking where it's like fast, but you're not running or jogging, whatever.
I don't run. I just walk fast.
She does it. She has a good.
Sometimes
stride.
I'll sprint.
She has a good stride, all that stuff. So, anyways, Jessica says, I don't run. I'd pass out, but if something was chasing me, I'm gone. Very good point. Very good. So, anyways, I did think of Chilo the other day when I saw that he was 40, and then the radio station mentioned it because Benny's 40 and all that stuff, and they were talking about all that. So it made me think of that. So that's that. But ideas of setting up cameras and all that stuff. Another thing I think is like the Ziploc we have of old cell phones and stuff like that. Stuff like that. once again, why is all that stuff cool again? I don't know.
The Nokias and the sliders and the flip
razors
phones
and all that. Like, why? I don't know, but people love it and appreciate it. Dude, the kids told me, they're like, that stuff is vintage, dude. Like,
yeah,
it could be worth something.
It's literally in museums. When we were at a museum in DC, we saw it there. We were like, dude, this is like our childhood right here. Like, what the heck?
Like, whatever, dude. So, but Karla's goal is for me to get out my baseball cards and like kind of go through them. I'm a little like, they've been like kind of preserved, and they're like, whatever there is.
Cálmate, so you want to set up the room like National Treasure where it's, you know?
I'm just saying, like, I don't know, taking them out, like how I'm going to feel. And then.
So the same way you felt with your Beanie Babies.
But the Beanie Babies are plushy. These are rigid cards that like you could damage them.
Are they going to crumble?
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
God, you're not that old, fool.
They're from some cards are old cards, so I don't know. That's the idea.
Hi, Mike.
What's up, Mike?
On Facebook.
So my thought process is also to try to find like my pogs and stuff like that, which would be really fun because I really do vividly remember pogs. Right, that was a vivid one, but I don't know. And once again, it's just one of those things that comes along with cleaning. So I think anything that could like push me to do that, then I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I'll do some more cleaning. I gotta go to the attic, take some stuff down. So yeah, maybe get rid of some stuff. I think that's
the end goal, right?
I think the universe is telling us
a hoarder
to get rid of some
does not want to ever get rid of anything because
but look, it could be cool one day.
He might need it one day.
But see, all that stuff that I've kept, instead of getting rid of it, donating or whatever.
I'm pissed that I got rid of my cassette tapes.
It's cool again. I had so many VHSs. You know how I got a lot of DVDs? I had a lot of VHS back in the day. I had VCRs, VCR combo with DVDs. Got rid of it all.
So Chilo says, has anyone seen the videos where they ask the young kids what's considered old? Most answer
in the 1900s.
Born in the 1900s.
It's true. That's what it is. So you know what I mean? That all that stuff is the game chat. Yep.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
What's up, Spin Guy?
What's going on?
Welcome in.
So another thing is that I was asked because my sister is friends with somebody who I guess collects these things. There is people that like, I don't know if I want to say they have like ruined thrifting or yard sailing or something like that. I don't want to go that far to say it, but there's people that go to like yard sales, that go to flea markets, thrift stores, all that stuff, and they look for vintage stuff because of their value so they can resell it, right? So my sister all of a sudden asked me, she's like, hey, didn't you have a Nintendo? And I go, yeah. She's like, so, you know, like, I was like, I got it in 1988. We went to Toys R Us, and it was the one that had the Duck Hunt and the Mario Brothers, and had the gun and all that stuff. And yeah, keep talking.
Work phone call. Break time. Who remembers Toys R Us? That store was awesome. I miss it. I think that they said they were bringing them back, right? And putting them inside of like Macy's or something like that. Or am I tripping? But I could have sworn I had heard that somewhere. Just like when they closed down all the Disney stores, but they started putting Disney sections inside of Targets. I'm pretty sure I had heard that, but I miss Toys R Us. We had a really, really big one here in Hayward. And I think the other closest one to us was Dublin. That was a little smaller one, but the one in Hayward was really big. And it was just fun to be able to like walk around and see all of the different toys and everything that they sold there. D says, I miss Toys R Us, but I miss KB Toys more. I honestly don't remember going into a KB stores. I remember that they had one inside of the mall, But that was about it. So you worked at Toys R Us. That's cool. It was a fun place. How long did you work there for? That's really cool. I loved all the Toys R Us commercials. It was fun. I think my mom got me my Garbage Pail Kids from Toys R Us. Jijiki says, sometimes I know I sell things that are worth of value, but because I just want to get rid of it, I sell it. Yeah. So, I mean, hoarding as in like the boxes of the blender, the box of, you know, this, of that.
Hey.
What?
We have made...
Hey, you weren't here. We're talking.
We have... Okay. Let's go back to the Nintendo.
Yes, see, in Macy's. Okay. So they're bringing Toys R Us back inside of Macy's.
Yeah, they're inside of the Macy's now. They're going to be like shops inside, right?
Yeah.
So I bought the, I didn't buy, but I got for like and it was specifically for a Christmas in 1988, whatever. It had
no way, JJQ.
It had all that stuff.
You're joking, right?
No way. It's just joking. Yes. So
I wouldn't doubt it.
I had that, right? I had games. I had the gold Zelda game. I had all these old Nintendo games. I'll tell you what happened to
that game. Gifted 5 memberships.
Thank you, the game.
Thank you, the game.
Appreciate
Trishland, Rabola,
yes.
Shady Lady, Jennifer, and Paul. Oh my goodness. Chicken.
Thank
You guys will show some love.
Yeah. Thank you so much, the game. So it's funny.
Thank you, Patrick.
That we're talking about games because Patrick is buying more games. He's buying this.
Didn't you just buy the new Switch?
Because it's for the business.
For the business, yes.
So his trailer, gaming trailer is going to have it.
Nice.
Yep.
Patrick, throw up your link, bro.
Yes, if you can.
Put that up there.
Yes, we have it. I think we have it in RV or RVing the game, something like that.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Jess.
Thank you.
So Spen Guy worked a little under a year at Toys R Us.
No way.
That's cool. My God. He said it was a fun place to work.
So my sister's like, yeah. So where's all that stuff? And I go, dude, my mom sold it. I was like,
Mom
sold it at a yard sale. I was like, we would have yard sales.
$5.
So the thing was, it's like the JJQ thing, right? She's like, they could have value one day, who knows? But you want to get rid of them because they're just taking up space, right? So who knows that a VHS camera could be worth money, in the future or whatever, vice versa, right? Who knows? Nobody knows. So same thing with Beanie Babies. People are like, one day maybe they'll be worth something. I don't think so. I like them for what they are, to be honest. It's not the value for me, but there are people that do that. So my sister's like, what happened with that? We also had a bunch of Disney VHS movies. Some of those Disney VHS movies with the white boxes. Do you remember the white boxes?
Well, I have the Little Mermaid.
You have the Little Mermaid, like the Little Mermaid one, right? So the Diamond Edition.
I think I have the Beauty and the Beast one too.
So the Diamond Editions and all that stuff are worth hundreds of dollars. The boxes and the VHS and all that stuff. We had a lot of them because my youngest sister, was into all the Disney princesses and all that stuff. So my parents were buying them, right? And my mom ended up keeping some of them, but a lot of them, guess where they went?
Yard sale.
Yard sale. It was what it was. I used to have my Super Nintendo with a lot of games. A lot. I actually love the Super Nintendo. That was my favorite gaming. One of my favorite games is Nintendo Mario Brothers 3, but Super Nintendo was one of my favorite consoles. Okay.
So JJQ says she's not joking. They just announced that they're making a live action movie from the producers of Sonic.
No way.
That's freaking awesome.
So yeah, you know what I mean? It's like I didn't keep stuff.
Hey Rachel, welcome in.
What's up, Rachel? So I didn't keep stuff because I thought it would be cool. Like I lived, obviously with my parents. Wow.
That's cool. Luna Bobby. Off of work. It's your Friday.
Friday. Yes. All that.
Thank you for joining us, my friend.
Yes.
Say hi to Heidi.
So So yeah, but it's just funny how things like that. Once again, people are like, it's this clutter.
No way.
A Game Boy, a straight up Game Boy.
I never played on a Game Boy.
I played Amanda's Game Boy and stuff like that. So I think the last time I played on it was 14 years ago when I went to Mexico, and she had a little Game Boy. She had a little Game Boy thingy. I think my
We're
vision
not talking about Switch.
My vision, yeah.
Okay,
make sure you clean up your room. Your room. I think my vision was better because the screens are kind of small and I was able to whatever, right? But it's just one of those things that like, it's kind of weird when somebody asks you, people that definitely don't like hoarding and don't like keeping old stuff.
Yeah.
Ask you if you have old stuff.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So there's people that like to keep stuff. Karla. Okay. It's not necessary for any monetary value, not even with the thought. There's never a thought process that it's going to be worth something.
The only thing
it's
that I
hard to keep
literally kept for like the majority of my life is my Goofy collection.
Yeah.
That was the only, and that would lived in a box.
When Karla and I got together, I noticed she had a box when we were moving stuff and getting stuff and bringing some of your stuff over. I was like, hey, why is there a box that has Goofy and it has like the eyes? You did like the eyes of it, you know, stuff like that. I was like, why do you have a box that says Goofy? What is that? What is that all about? And that ended up being the beginning
of our display,
along with that Pirate Mickey that you got as a gift. And that's how all this Disney stuff blew up. So you never know where it's going to start from. You never know. Yes, so we're talking about sometimes keeping some of the boxes, some of the stuff. So for Costco, we buy a lot of stuff from Costco. Like pretty much, I like to buy stuff from Costco because I know that if in a couple years or whatever, it breaks down for whatever reason, I can take it to Costco and return it. They'll give me a credit and I can buy a new one, an upgraded one. That's the whole idea, right? And all that stuff. So we found out that we were trying to return. Do you remember it was a Ninja or something, right?
One of the blenders.
And we, we thought the normal thing, right? We buy we take the blender with all the cups
with
all the
attachments
and
everything.
So they're like, okay, yeah, we can find it that you purchased it. But it's missing the book. Yeah. And we're like, okay, it's the box.
What about it?
And
like the manual to it.
It's missing the manual. Yeah. So since it's a defect or whatever, since it broke down on you guys, we need that book. We need the manual. And I'm like,
and without it, we can't return it.
Without it, you can't return it. So we came home and started looking through stuff. I think we ended up finding it.
Yeah.
But that made me be like,
I'm never throwing anything.
I'm not throwing any of this crap away. I've returned water dispensers, where the jugs go underneath or whatever, because eventually we use them a lot. As they get used, they end up leaking, they end up breaking, they end up not working. I take the whole unit back to Costco and they look up the account, and they go, okay, you paid $80 for it or
what's
whatever.
Up, Bay Area attractions?
What up? A Star Wars figurines.
And
okay, Star Wars stuff is probably worth.
See, that's a little different.
That's a collectible.
That is definitely a collector's item.
That's probably is cool. Worth a good change. We're talking about keeping like old cameras and stuff like that we actually use. Like I use these old cameras to record stuff like everyday life, whatever. Not necessarily Disneyland. I can't remember that kind of aspect of it, but just regular everyday life. And then as phones got better and you can use a phone, then what happened, right? We all put them away or whatever. We used to have Polaroid cameras. Do you know what?
And now now they came back.
And they went away, right? Because who cares about a physical picture? Who cared when you can have it digital, right? When you can have it digitally, right? And now Polaroid cameras are cool again.
Yep.
Who knew? Disposable cameras. I just saw one of those at Target. Remember, you're like, they're not cheap anymore. And
they're not cheap at all.
Disposable cameras where you
hell of expensive to have them developed.
Okay, why are disposable cameras cool?
Vintage.
Okay, but who cares?
White girls.
Whatever, dude.
Shut up.
Whatever.
What's up, Michelle? What's up, Shadow?
What's up?
Congratulations,
It's like
Michelle. You won the
TikTokers.
member giveaway for this month.
Michelle, send us an email in case you haven't done so already.
Email.
So I want to say it was like TikTok, right? TikTok makes everything cool.
Yeah.
You bring stuff, you bring it back, all that stuff. And it's one of those things that it's vintage. It's cool.
JJ saw him at Best Buy not too long ago.
Right. We saw him at Target. We did our thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
somebody was buying them.
Let me see if they have them here. Somebody ended up buying them.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they were pretty expensive, dude. It was like, I don't know if it was $40 for like two of them or something.
I had looked it up.
And I'm like,
when AJ was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
To go to outdoor school because I bought cameras for the twins and for Andrea when they went.
They ever got developed, by the way.
When they went to outdoor school. And actually, no, I didn't buy any for the twins, just Andrea.
Andrea. I think she still asked us. She's like,
and I never developed them for
her.
her.
Developed?
And so I think I ended up developing them, but like it was so old that they didn't come out.
I actually looked for places to develop, and places were like, yeah, we don't develop those anymore.
No.
And I'm like, what do you mean? And I was like, but that was a while ago. Maybe nowadays.
Now it's cheaper. Now it's
maybe now
growing popularity.
Yeah. Because if you guys remember, Costco back in the day
when they used to have a photo department.
The photo department. I remember taking my passport picture at Costco. Mm-hmm. And now
things have changed.
We were sitting at the food court and we're like, huh, there's no more anything, whatever.
Yeah.
I used to get my glasses cleaner filled up at Costco for free.
So outdoor school, Rachel, it's basically they take a week, it's like a week field trip, glamping, because they're not in a tent, they're in a cabin with fellow classmates.
They actually do school stuff.
They do school stuff, but it's a way, like mine was, when I did it, was up in northern California, like by Oregon.
I never did it. I never got.
Kiko went to Great America for 8th grade, so
we're not bringing that one back up, okay? But I never did outdoor school.
All four of our kids went to the same outdoor school. AJ was blessed enough to be able to go. Was it 3 or 4 times? Because the radio station started doing summer camp. And it was at the same outdoor school location that AJ, the other kids had gone to. Mm-hmm. And I kept winning it for him like 3 years in a row. So he got to go. Cool. It ended up being really.
He finally aged out. So he
aged out. So he can't go no more. But he really enjoyed it. So they would do like night hikes and, singing.
Swimming stuff too, a little bit.
They had a swimming pool. They would just do a bunch of different stuff. And like, yeah, so that's what the outdoor school is.
It actually is a paid thing through school. You have to pay for them to do that. So if you don't want them to go, they basically stay back in
at school
at like a library or something like that, and just do packets of work. Because all the teachers
and so it would be Monday through Friday. Like they would leave Monday, they would come back on Friday. AJ was actually just telling me that they changed it to where it's only 2 days.
I wonder if it's just the prices. I wonder
it could be because it was pretty pricey.
I think all these activities now are pricing people out, right? I'm part of a sports organization. It's how to figure out how to keep prices low, or at least low enough to where a regular family can afford it. But then everything else is so expensive. The price to rent everything is expensive. The price to buy stuff is expensive. Nothing's getting cheaper, no matter what anybody says. Everything's getting more and more expensive. And it's harder to keep activities more affordable. So I guess, like Karla said, so if the outdoor school used to be 5 days or whatever, maybe now it's like the only way we can do it is that we'll have outdoor school. We're going to charge you the same as been, but now it's only going to be 2 days. Because they have to get a bus to take all these kids out there. They have to pay for the camp. And then they have to pay to bus them back. So that's what I think it is. You know what I mean?
Chilo's asking, has anybody done a time capsule box?
I've never done one, Chilo. I've actually never even been to one where they've opened one.
No, not at all.
So
Rob, what's up? Welcome in.
Yes, we got our membership, Rob. It was gifted by the game.
Thank you, the game.
And thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
Thank you for smashing that thumbs up as well. So that's kind of what's going on. Those are the things that I kind of wanted to put out there that we have plans to do. Definitely going to continue the trivia from Kahoot. Karla's been busy cranking those out, so there'll be more of those. We have some other ideas to use the Kahoot, which hopefully at some point we can disclose and all that stuff. You may see it on a Friday Hangout, guys. It may be something like Karla said. How well do you know Karla and Kiko?
We didn't say that here.
No,
we had mentioned that in the members stream.
We're saying it now, right? Just,
and we may do a K&K After Dark Kahoot, movie trivia.
I don't know. It's possible. So
maybe sooner than later.
Just keep all that in mind, guys. And we definitely appreciate all of you guys being here. This is a good opportunity to give a quick shout out. Shout out to the mods. Shout out to the members. Shout out to our subscribers. Shout out to the mods that are members. All Ninja Watchers, Stealth Watchers, Ghost Watchers, Samurai Watchers, Lurkers, anybody watching in the background, we definitely appreciate you being here. If you are new to the channel,
welcome.
Please do us a favor, smash that thumbs up and subscribe. And as well, very important, keep your notification bell on if we do have new content, new vlogs, new anything. Karla's been still putting stuff out there, stuff that I'm like, oh, dang, that's pretty cool that you did that. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have on my plate. Do you have anything going on? Karla?
So I have not going on, but I have a question. Chat, feel free to chime in. So Kiko, my question to you is, hypothetically, if
I'm listening,
if you could choose anywhere in the U.S. theme park wise to go to lifetime for free, airfare is included, where would you go?
It has to be in the U.S.
In the U.S.
Oh, in the U.S. I do Walt Disney World because there's a lot of choices.
Because there's a lot more.
A lot of choices. Yeah, especially if it was all paid for and all that stuff.
Chat, what would you guys do?
I obviously prefer Disneyland. I'm going to put it out here, guys, in case you have not heard it. I prefer Disneyland over Walt Disney World. That includes all the parks. I do love parks, more parks than others at Disney World. If you were to ask me my favorite park in the U.S., it is Disneyland. But the way Karla put it is I'm going to get paid airfare and all that stuff. Well, I don't need to get paid airfare to go to Disneyland because I could drive down there, no problem, or get a cheap flight and stuff like that. So I was looking at flights the other day; they were like $85.
Yeah, the other day,
not
now.
Not when you want to go, right?
Yeah, not when you plan on going. It's just random.
But that would be my thing. It would be like Disney World, pay for me to go, pay all that stuff. There it is. Bay Air Attractions is definitely Walt Disney World. Last year we went to Walt Disney World twice, which was a lot.
Yeah.
And we went.
And we only went because Andrea was working
with AJ, and we took Jose several times. I want to say.
Yeah.
So Jose's a really big fan of Walt Disney World. He knows all the parks. He went a lot more than we did. We're like, we're good with going like 3 days. I think for us, for Walt Disney World, the 3-day, pass or whatever, 1 day, one park. We actually, we've never parked hop at Disney World, which is weird. We have had the tickets to park hop, a couple of times, and
we just never have.
We're good here.
It's too much of a hassle.
It's an effort. It's too much of an effort.
You can't just cross the Esplanade to go to the other park.
But once again, that is just maybe we're just too spoiled.
Bus it
at Disneyland that we're like it's too easy to
boat it,
hop
fly
and all
it.
That stuff.
No.
So, but if you were asking me, I would definitely go. Another park I would say is really, really cool, in my opinion, is Universal Studios Orlando. I love those lands. I think the rides are too much for my mature age. And my motion sickness and
they need to
stuff.
have a senior center theme park.
Okay, Tony Lopez.
Where it's like
whatever. I think Tony can join me. Tony can join me. But yes.
Not.
But I love Universal in Orlando. I think it's big. It's got some older school stuff.
And they have the 2 parks, and then now they have Epic.
2 parks. They have, I would love to go see Epic and all that stuff. But I would still, right now, not seeing Epic, not seeing Epic Universe, not seeing any of that stuff. I would pick Walt Disney World. That's just for me. That's just what I would say.
And I would do Disneyland.
Really? Mm-hmm. But we've
why?
gone on a Disneyland.
It doesn't matter.
We went down there 3 weekends in 1 month.
That was a lot.
And it was only 4. One of those months that only had 4 weekends.
Yeah, that was
and
a
we
lot.
Went 3.
Yeah.
Yes, was it tiring? But we wanted to do it.
But with airfare included,
yeah, I guess it would be easy.
We don't have to drive the 6 hours. I would do Disneyland.
It's a good idea. Once again, I'm thinking more like more value, right?
Yeah. However,
more money.
Realistically, how often would you want to go to Walt Disney World because of the humidity?
I'd say
and the rain. You hate going to theme parks in the rain. You loathe it.
I would still say like 4 trips. 4 trips.
So 1 every season.
1 every season. Maybe not summer, maybe like right before or right after or whatever. But I would, plus the airfare was already paid for. Yeah. I would do it. Plus that we would buy a pass or have a pass.
Yeah.
So we can go.
No,
there.
It's a lifetime pass.
Oh, lifetime pass. It's even easier, dude. Casa cerrado. Done. Let's go.
Okay.
Yes.
I haven't.
That's where, see, look at
that. See? Tú solito te estás chingando, Kiko,
hey, the humidity and all of that is good for my skin.
I don't care.
At Walt Disney World. It's good for my skin.
I can't live like I literally just walked out of the gym for 3 hours working out. No, I can't.
It's good for your skin.
I can't. No. Because then you're like, ugh, you're so sticky. Ugh, you're so nasty.
I'm nasty.
Well, yes, you do. I'm out there.
So, Casa Cerrado says Chilo. Yes. So, I am going to say this, right? So, Karla and I.
Thank you, Arlene.
Arlene says I'm with Karla. So,
thank you.
Karla and I have very different skin structures or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So, Karla gets very sweaty.
I'm disgusting in the summertime.
Sweaty.
What's up, Rugari?
It doesn't matter what she does and this and that. She gets
sweat like that.
Sweaty. Maybe because I put so much lotions on. Maybe the lotions keep
the lotioning and oiling.
The moisturizer.
You're too much of a Wendy Peppercorn.
I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. But I don't get that sweaty. I don't sweat like that.
You don't.
I don't, right? I do get the sweat, right? I mean, I do get that one. But that's just normal, right? I get those. All right. And that's that, right? I mean, hey, that's what it is, right?
God, no te pasaste.
Wait, who's dehydrated? Me, Arlene, or Karla? Maybe Karla's so hydrated that she has to juice it out. And I don't know. But I don't sweat.
I get dehydrated because I sweat so much.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't sweat that much. So for me, it's fine. I love it. Oh, me, Kiko, what? Arlene?
Because you don't sweat.
What? I sweat, just not in the same. There's different levels of sweatiness, and I don't get to that level.
Kiko glistens.
Yeah, I also don't have to worry too much about like skin stuff and all that stuff because naturally, But I do wear hats for everything. So that
and he doesn't burn in the summertime. What do you call it? You bronze?
I bronze. I do. I bronze. I turn just a darker shade of brown. I do turn a darker shade of brown.
And then when he takes off his watch, it's white as the sun.
And then like I do get sock lines.
Yes, the sock line.
So I have to make sure that like, because okay, I'm a dumb fool, so I always wear high socks. But in the summer, I have to wear ankle socks so I get a full tan, because if not, it looks weird. Because if I get the tall sock, then it burns only at the top part, and then the bottom is too white, and then I put the low sock, and then it just looks Neapolitan, and it looks too weird. So that's why in the summer I wear short socks. Okay, that's the only time. Alrighty. So
if you guys haven't checked out our friend Rugari, make sure to check him out. He does gaming as well. And he's doing a giveaway right now.
Awesome.
Thank you, Michelle, for that email.
Yes.
Like Tony says, sock check.
Sock check full. Yes.
Okay.
We women don't sweat. We glisten.
No, I sweat.
I sweat.
I disgustingly sweat.
Yeah, and I'm just more like natural, just kind of like, yeah, it's fine.
Whatever.
Okay. What else you got?
Next question.
What else you got?
We're gonna broaden it worldwide.
No.
Theme park only. Paid for life theme park and airfare.
Japan.
Damn, me too.
Easy. That's
what I was thinking.
Easy.
I was actually debating Japan and Paris. Because once you're there, you can explore.
Japan.
Right?
100%. So Paris is a lot smaller. Smaller theme parks in general. It's actually they have the smallest theme parks that are Disney, right? The smallest theme parks in general, whatever. 100% Japan. I feel like we have been to Tokyo Disneyland and all that stuff, and Tokyo Disney Sea. I feel like looking back, like maybe we saw 20% or enjoyed 20% of its offerings.
We didn't see anything.
We have a lot
more to explore
that we want to do. Yes, I want to go to like Osaka. Yes, I want to go to Universal in Japan, all that stuff. I want to do all that stuff, but I want to make my way back down because I feel like there's so much more to experience at Tokyo Disneyland, Tokyo Disney Sea, and in food-wise, ride-wise, experience-wise, everything-wise.
Capsule-wise.
Everything-wise. So I think that's what I would definitely want to. It's a far trip. It's expensive to go out there, all that stuff. Phantom Manor.
We didn't get to see it. It was closed.
No, we saw it from the outside.
We didn't ride it. It was closed.
But Phantom Manor at Disneyland Paris was under refurbishment when we went. So I'm very much like bummed that we didn't get to see it. And yes, do I want to go back there? Yes. But I feel that we can do that on our own.
Yeah.
We can make a pit stop in Paris or whatever. All that stuff. It's not even in Paris. It's outside.
Whatever,
in stuff like that. Chessy. It's actually, if you look it up, it's actually in our pictures say Chessy, but it's actually like a different little town or whatever. But whatever. So
is it a little town and a quiet village?
Yes, quiet village town. So right, dude, Rugari hates flying. We've talked about that. I think Japan is if you go direct, it's such a long flight that as long as you have stuff to pass the time, if you can take some stuff to just knock out, wouldn't it be awesome if you just woke up and you're already like over Japan, like
and you're there.
So just think of it in those terms. So that's what I would pick though.
Arohana!
What's up, Arohana?
Have a great cruise.
Yes.
Enjoy.
We were talking about that. Karla was telling me. I was a little jealous. I'm not going to lie.
A lot jealous. Have fun.
Have a great time.
Love you guys. Thank you for popping in.
Disney trips, Disney cruises are the best. Karla hasn't mentioned that, but yes, at some point we want to go on all the cruise ships and all that.
Arlene says, confession, I've never been on a plane. My biggest fear.
Arlene, I would have never guessed that.
Me either.
Wow. So
take an ambient.
So planes,
whatever will knock you out.
We've done a lot of planes together. I did planes obviously as younger as well, but I don't have problems with planes. Karla doesn't like turbulence. She doesn't like the dropping.
I'm gonna use Kiko's words. Now that I'm more mature.
It affects you more.
It affects me more. It affects me a lot more. The drops, the turbulence. I don't like it at all. I could do mild turbulence, but we went through, I don't remember where we were.
Hawaii, possibly.
Hawaii
was probably the worst.
Oh my goodness.
And that was because we went from, was it the Big Island to
Maui
to Oahu?
No, Oahu. Yes.
We didn't stop in Maui. We went from the Big Island to Oahu. That little
terrible. I was like gripping on for dear life. I was watching the proposal nonstop. So
I think my suggestion for Rugari, for like Arlene, I mean, obviously I'm no expert in any of this stuff, but if you can find a way to zen out with whatever that is, Karla, her zen is watching the proposal.
And if, or
we
Crazy Rich Asians or any 50 First Dates, any other movie like that I know pretty much by heart, that I can just replay it and try to fall asleep.
Some people like to read books, right? Some people like to read and keep them. Some people I've seen people that bring their Switch and they play the whole freaking time.
The whole time.
Whatever helps you do.
Look, Arlene said, no way, I'll drive or take the train.
So some places that we want to go to, obviously you have to fly. There is no train or tube or any of that stuff. So, once again, this is just us. I do love Disneyland Paris. I want to go back, but I think my heart is in Japan.
Japan for sure.
And I'd want to go there. Do I want to go to, the other Disney ones, the other castles that we have to go to?
Yep.
Yes.
Eventually.
Is it gonna happen?
Eventually.
Eventually, hopefully it does. That is the goal. All the castles. Earache when landing. Yes. Chewing gum. That helps. It's kind of tough. Like, I don't know how Karla does it because we wear the earbuds that go in the ear.
I have to keep taking them out every once in a while.
Is that what it is? Yeah, because when you're watching stuff and you have those on, you have to kind of keep them in because I guess you could wear the other ones or whatever it is. But whatever it is, just figure it out and go from there. Do all that good stuff. Whatever helps you zen out. Alrighty, guys.
Patrick says, I'm off to Minnesota tomorrow.
Minnesota, yes.
Have fun.
Hey, text me, dude. Hit me up on Instagram. Let me know how's everything going, all that stuff. The game. We message every once in a while. All the time. Actually, it's funny. So, yes, the game. Have a great trip. Training, all that stuff that you're doing. Let me know what time.
They treated the elderly with much respect.
It actually is true.
It is.
They are a very respectful people. And actually,
in general,
Japan has the most centenarians or whatever it is, people that live over 100. So,
because it's all the walking that they have to
definitely figured out how to have long lives and happy lives and all that stuff. I want to say they're falling behind on having kids. So whatever.
Oh no, yes. Arlene.
9/11.
She's inherited her fear too. Okay, so Vegas also has terrible
sometimes turbulence sometimes, because it's
more times than not
the desert.
So just warning you about that.
San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, all those airports.
Even in the Bay, we get some turbulence depending on the year when it's windier.
It's fine.
But it generally is like quick when you're passing through the clouds. But Vegas, I've noticed the past couple times that we've flown in, it was like pretty bad. So I don't know if it's like
it's a close flight though, but I think in California might be a good start if you're looking to start.
Yeah.
Like, San Diego, San Francisco, even Sacramento, any of these over here, Oakland, San Jose, they're pretty good. They're pretty okay. I would say there's not that big of a worry. Obviously, there's times of the year where it's going to be windy wherever you go. So that's the times to look out for, whatever, weather-wise. But in general, easy peasy. By the time we get situated with our videos and all that stuff, it's already time to put everything away because we're landing, right? So that's that. That's all I have, guys, on my end. Do you have anything else?
Well,
are you good?
You had asked me a question earlier, and it made me want to ask chat.
Okay, all right.
So where do you guys lie with quinceañeras. Do you think that it's like
my question, dude?
Do you think that it's a dying trend? Do you think it's still like just as popular as ever? What are your guys' thoughts?
Okay, first off, I want to say I have not looked into any statistics. I am a statistics guy. I do Google things and try to find out the information and all that stuff. This has been just more like a personal feeling for me and all that stuff. I think COVID changed a lot of the ways of like the big parties and stuff like that, weddings, big gatherings, all that stuff. Price people out of stuff or whatever as well. Traditions have changed a little bit. The religious aspect may have changed a little bit as well. So I have a friend who went to apparently a big quinceañera last weekend, and I was like, oh, okay, how was it? Blah blah blah. So they did the blessing on site, and I was like, what is big, right? Everybody has a different definition of what a big party is. And I go, probably around 400 people. And I go,
that's crazy.
I go, what? 400 people?
That's crazy.
That is ridiculous. I want to say for Andreas, we were able to do like
70.
I think we had enough for 100. Yeah. And ended up slicing it back or whatever, just because of the table layouts and all that, to like maybe 80. I want to say it was like 80 with her court and all that stuff. It was like 80 people, something like that. And for us, that was like, it was a lot. We did have, I don't hear about them as much since COVID. Thank you, Tony. That is kind of like the information that I was kind of thinking, that since COVID kind of stopped you from being able to have them, people are kind of like, well, we didn't do them then. Why don't we have to keep doing them, right? But whatever. We had a very traditional quinceañera. We, went to the church. Andrea had her small court. It was just her friends and her main guy and 3
couples.
Was it 3 couples?
3 couples, and so it was 4 in total with her.
Okay. So, we all wore matching white shirts and cream-colored tie. The twins wore suspenders and bow ties. I don't know how you had it that AJ and I wore like the same outfit and the twins wore the same outfit. It was pretty cute. Whatever, right? Andrea had a big dress, a little flower bouquet, all that stuff. It was really cool. She had chambelanes and whatever, her court. We had padrinos, which is sponsors. This was before COVID.
It was before COVID, but I also like DIY'd a lot.
She did. We planned it to where it was not like right here. We planned on like, okay, we're going to prepay for like the this or the that.
I found her dress on Facebook Shop or Facebook Market, whatever it's called. And it was used.
One time for like
used for an hour. And it literally came with everything that I needed.
Well, no, they had everything. They didn't want to sell it all together. They wanted to sell only this and that one. What else do you have? And Karla may have finagled and done a deal and said, so this is what I'll give you.
I bought everything when Andrea was 11. So I had to hold on to it for 4 years.
And we told her.
And I made sure Andrea was like, I said, Andrea, the dress is these colors, which were her favorite colors. And she was like, I love it.
But I loved it, yeah.
And I said, okay, if I buy this, you're not changing your mind. Like, this is it. And she's like, I'm fine with that. And that's how it, we did it. And I mean, I had friends and like her godmother helped us out and, some friends wanted to help out. So they helped out.
Those are called padrinos or sponsors.
I DIY'd as much as I could. The centerpieces. I had my coworker do her hair. Kiko's sister did her makeup.
So we try to keep
like the budget was
our budget
low
was
key.
Low. It was a smaller budget, so we knew we could only host this many people. If you're talking about like, let's say we did,
I didn't do that.
We didn't do that. There's some things that we didn't do the Barbie or whatever.
No, I didn't do the doll.
There was a couple of things that we didn't do. For us,
Yeah.
it was more like the church was the important part, and some people went to their church, and then Andrea got to drive in a cool old school car, to the actual party, did pictures. We had a DJ, all that stuff. It was traditional.
Damn, Henry, he was a chambelán 5 times.
I was a chambelán. I want to say 2 or 3 times. I was a chambelán.
That's crazy.
For sure 2 at the church and then another one. So maybe 3. Yeah. But that was it. But Andrea's quinceañera was really, really awesome, really special. But if I'm thinking of the budget, right? Let's say we budgeted for 80 people and we know kind of around how much it cost us. I can't imagine multiplying that by 5.
That's crazy.
400. You're talking about a lot of money. And then
that's like wedding status.
And then the party that my friend went to also, they had a banda, which is like they had like 10, 11 guys playing the instruments, Spanish music, all that stuff. It was crazy. I was like, that's like $5,000 just for the band. I don't even know how long they played, but we were kind of estimating how much just the band was, right? So I don't know. Once again, I haven't looked up anything, but I told Karla, I said, I feel that quinceañeras are not as big as they used to be, like when we were younger, when it was more I don't know if that's it.
I was telling Kiko that also people don't necessarily do it at 15. Like they might wait for 16 or 17, so it could also spread out as well. So I actually was telling Isa, I was like, hey, you guys got to start saving up for the quince. I was like, already? Let us know, we'll be padrinos.
Damn, está chiquita.
It's never too early to start thinking about it.
Damn.
What's up, Steven in Wyoming?
What's up, Steven? What up?
I didn't get a quinceañera either. My dad had, died, and my mom was still like she's like, I'm not in a partying mood.
Yes.
So I didn't get one. I got the blessing at the church with actually the priest that did my blessing did Andreas, which was really, really special for me. So
he also married us.
Yeah. So it was in that sense, it was a special tradition that I wanted to be able to keep. JJQ says my parents took me to Disney, I think because they knew I might have equal to Disney ticket.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's understandable. My sister, my oldest sister, the older one, because the
not your oldest,
the eldest.
You're the oldest.
Well, there's 2 sisters. The older sister had a quinceañera. And she tells me, she has said it. We've had our conversations that she wishes she had just done a trip instead.
Well, she did a trip as well.
She did both, but she says that maybe like not have the quinceañera party and all that stuff expenditure, and just put more money towards a trip. With a white suit and everything, retirement from chambeleando. It wasn't a job, bro. But
for him it was.
But it is what it is. Like I said, don't get me wrong, I love a good quinceañera. We have been part of other quinceañeras and stuff like that.
Sorry to hear that, Stephen. Hopefully they recover soon.
Yes. So, but we have done that as well. You know what I mean? So I personally think that COVID
messed everything up.
Messed up a lot of things, closed a lot of businesses, even dress shops, shops that sold stuff for quinceañeras. Remember, we had one down the way, and now they sell ADA scooters and stuff like that. They went out of business, So it at least for our areas. I don't know so much Southern California because I don't go down there so much, and it's not for that. But at least up here, from what I have noticed, at least in the limited area that I have seen less quinceañeras.
Yeah.
Or hear less about them. So, our Jessica says,
have a good night,
G. So, that was not supposed to be part of this stream, the quinceañera talk. That something that Carla just.
But it
I
was
asked her, and then she threw it in here. That was a good one.
well because realistically, like after the year that Andrea had her quinceañera, we had 2 other ones that same year, like within months.
It was like quinceañera season, dude. Like
it was
right
within months. And I haven't really heard of any. I mean, I've heard of some,
but not that much.
But not that many since then. So it makes sense. You know, so I was like, I would just want to. I also told people
maybe people do
it depends.
Parties.
It depends where you live. Maybe in SoCal they do it more. Maybe in Texas they do it more.
But like Tony Lopez says, since COVID, he has heard it's less.
Yeah.
So that might be it.
It could be. It could. So, I mean, everything has also gotten so expensive. It's just like ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But once again, I think also it's just the prices of everything. It's just expensive. People are like, let's just do a low key party and go on a trip. Maybe. I don't know. That's all I got, guys. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you for joining us. Happy Friday. Shout out to all of you guys for being here, for the support, all that good stuff. Keep your notifications on. Kahoot is still going. Are beautiful. They're still happening, but I guess because we are not in the age range or have kids that age, we don't hear them. That's also a possibility. You know, AJ's 13 and maybe just
he might have friends in a couple of years.
So maybe in a couple of years we'll be like, oh yeah, quinceañeras are still there. There's still all that stuff. So
we'll see.
Have a great weekend, everyone, guys. Keep your notifications on just in case Carla pulls a trigger on some of this Kahoot stuff that she already has working on, and we will go from there. Michelle won the member only giveaway. I believe she said she emailed us. Thank you.
Look, Arlene says my daughter's 15 and a few of her friends have them.
See, Arlene, thank you for giving us that information. We just wanted to.
Amigo Simon!
We're finishing up. We are signing off for now, but rewatch the stream. We talked about a couple of good
Say
things.
Hi.
Queen Jody.
Appreciate you. Say hi to Queen Jody.
Yes.
Thank you, JG. Michelle, I did get the email. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you, guys.
All right, you guys.
Thank you, guys.
See you on the next one.